This is a lesson recap for chapter 3.1. This chapter largely focuses on your likes and your dislikes, a lot like chapter 2, but it's going to focus on activities. Now, when we talk about activities, we're always going to be talking about los verbos or verbs. In this chapter, we're going to learn a lot about what are called infinitivos or infinitive verbs. Now, an infinitive verb is the most basic form of a verb, something that gives us the meaning but not the subject. Kind of like ser. We went over ser in chapter 1 and 2. Ser means to be, but we don't just say to be, right? We conjugate it depending on who is being, right? So I am, you are, he is. But this version right here, ser, tells us what's happening, right? Be, but it doesn't tell us who is being. That's what we mean by an infinitive. So our vocab for this chapter, alquilar videos, to rent videos, bailar, to dance, bajar videos in Netflix, to watch videos on Netflix, cantar, to sing, comer, to eat, correr, to run, descansar, to rest, dibujar, to draw, escribir cartas, to write letters, estudiar, to study, hablar por teléfono, to speak on the phone, hacer ejercicio, to do exercise, hacer la tarea, to do the homework, ir a, to go to. Ir is always going to be used in conjunction with a, to go to. Ir de compras, to go shopping. Jugar a, to play, as in a sport. Leer, to read. Montar en bicicleta, to ride a bike. Nadar, to swim. Navegar por internet, to surf online or to be online. Pasar tiempo solo, to spend time alone. Pasear, to wander. Patinar, to skate, or patinar sobre hielo, to ice skate. Platicar, to chat. Practicar deportes, to practice sports. Salir con amigos, to go out with friends. Tocar, to play as in an instrument, and you can play any instrument, including el piano. Trabajar, to work. Ver televisión, or el tele, which is to watch TV. Notice that all of our verbs here are always going to end in an AR, ER, or IR. So you can always recognize that a verb is in the infinitive form when it ends in one of those three. For example, here's our verb. We know that because it ends in an IR, and verbs always end in either ER, or AR, ER, or IR. Part of our vocabulary also talks about where you might do some of these things. The question where is adonde, and here are some locations that you might do some of those activities. El baile, a dance. La casa de, the house of someone. For ejemplo, la casa de Juan would be Juan's house. El cine, the movie theater. El centro comercial, the mall. El colegio, the high school. El concierto, a concert. El ensayo, a practice or rehearsal for music or drama. El entrenamiento, the training, like for sports. El gimnasio, a gym. La iglesia, a church. El parque, a park. El partido de, which would be the blank game. So el partido de baseball would be the baseball game. La piscina, the pool. La playa, the beach. La reunión, a meeting. El trabajo, work. Also part of our vocab, con quién, with whom do you do those things? So you could do them con mis amigos, with my friends, con mi familia, with my family, conmigo, with me, or contigo, with you. Last one, in mi tiempo libre, in my free time. So the question for this chapter was, ¿qué te gusta hacer? What do you like to do? To answer this question, you would say me gusta along with any infinitive verb from our vocab list. So me gusta comer, I like to eat, or me gusta cantar, I like to sing. Gusta can be used with any singular noun, like la pizza, or any infinitive verb, like cantar. The only time we would use gustan is for plural verbs, like plural nouns, como las frutas. Very good. I'm going to move through some of these examples. An important point here, some of our words like ir and jugar have an a attached to it. That's important because ir always shows up with a, to go and to. For example, me gusta ir a la playa. I like to go to the beach. Or me gusta jugar a los deportes. I like to play video games. Now, here, the word a meant to in English. Over here, the word a didn't have a translation. We don't say that word in English, but they would in Spanish. But just remember that anytime you see jugar or ir, you always need an a right next to it. Sometimes a will be right next to the word el. For example, me gusta ir a el cine. I like to go to the movies. Whenever we see a and el in the same sentence, they always contract into al. So instead of me gusta ir a el cine, me gusta ir al cine. Just think of it like math. Whenever you see these two terms, always put them in the simplified version, al. Me gusta ir a la iglesia. I like to go to church. We'll move to the rest of these examples that we've done in class. The last part of chapter 3.1 is this. Up till now, we have only been talking about saying I like or do you like, but we're actually able to say anybody, telling anybody that we like something. So we have here what's called a prepositional phrase. This is technically optional, although in class though we're going to be using it a lot. Sounds complicated, but really all it is naming who it is that's liking something. For example, if I like it, we would say a mí. If it's you who likes it, a ti. If he likes it, a él or she, a ella or you, a usted, a nosotros, a vosotros, a ellos, ellas, that should say ellas, or ustedes. Notice we have one of these for each of our pronouns. The next sort of step in making one of these sentences say that somebody likes something would be an indirect object pronoun. These don't really have translations in class, or in translations, but we have been using them in class. For example, we know that me gusta means I like, but we also know that me doesn't mean I, right? That's one of our subject pronouns. That's yo. But me does refer to oneself. So, me gusta, a mí me gusta, I like. A ti te gusta, you like. A él or ella or usted le gusta, he or she or you like. A nosotros nos, a vosotros os, and a ellos or ellas les. Let me show you how this might work. First of all, these always match up. El and ella with le, nosotros with nos. We're never going to see a situation where it's a mí nos. Those don't match up. But let's take a sentence here. He likes to dance. And it might be helpful if you had your notes from class in front of you here, the gustar with indirect object pronoun notes. The first step here would be that prepositional phrase, which is right here. And so we need to name them. Who? Well, he is el, so el. The next part would be that indirect object pronoun. Do we want me, te, le, nos, os, or les? Again, that's the second part of this chart. And we see that for el, we're going to want le. So, a él le gusta, and now it's just a matter of a vocabulary term. To dance is bailar. He likes to dance. A él le gusta bailar. I think we have time for one more. Here I have, we like to go out with friends. So the first thing we do is we take our subject and we name them. A who? How do we say we in Spanish? Nosotros. So, a nosotros. Which indirect object pronoun matches nosotros? That would be nos. So a nosotros nos gusta. And the rest is just a matter of a vocab term. How do we say to go out with friends? That's the chapter 3.1 vocab term, salir con amigos. A nosotros nos gusta salir con amigos. And that is the essential information from chapter 3.1.